Alrighty guys, the rain went through, the sun's coming back out. Should be a good rest of the day. I've got my third card for you now. The best there is paper pumpkin kit from May 2024. This is what it made. But this is what we're gonna make. So this kit I do use a little bit more of the supplies, even though I'm trying not to. I did use one of the cards for this one, but I'm going to just use crumb cake base for the video. It doesn't need to be on this card from the kit. I will save that for something else for you to make with it. We're going to use this wood grain card. I'm making both of these cards with it, and I hope to make the fourth card with that same piece so that we're not going to use more. We're going to cut the card down with the mountain on it into a couple pieces, and so I did use 2 of those for this. You'll use 1 for yours, and then this blue card itself will you'll have extra, so you would be able to make 2 with it or do something else with the second piece. Like I said, I'm just going to use a crumb cake base instead of one of the cards. It is 8.5 by 5.5. Score it at 4 1/4, or go ahead and fold it in half and burnish that fold real good. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I cut this blue card down on the 1/8 to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to glue those 2 pieces together and stick that on the front of the card. Let's see though, we want to make sure that we've got let's put this, like, most of this whitish area down at the bottom where maybe we're going to get to see more of it. Let's see, we're going to, I guess 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'm going to put it at the bottom anyway. So we're going to glue that onto the front. Like so. Check your borders. Then I cut down this card to 1 1/4. I lied. I cut it to 1 3/8 by 4. And then we're going to adhere that to a piece of crumb cake that is 1 1/2 by 4 1/8. And then I just glued that flat onto the front. Kind of left a little bit off on the edge, and then tried to center it top to bottom. So again, we'll leave a little bit off to the edge. Center, I'm eyeballing it top to bottom. If you have a mat like this, you could get crazy and say, count your lines, your space. You got like 3/4 of an inch on each side. Looks good. Glue that down. Then, like I said, I cut this card off. The card that came in the kit, I cut it off at 2 1/2, and then side to side, I cut it at 2 1/4. So I basically cut it right between the 2 trees. In that little blank space right there, I cut that off. And then we're going to layer it on a crumb cake piece that's 2 3/8 by 2 5/8. So let's glue those together. 2 3/8 by 2 5/8. So we're going to glue that on right here. And then I popped it up onto the front. And load it up with these little, I should get out my giant dimensionals that I like to use. I use way less of them. Covers more ground, but we'll use these. Peel our little backs off. Right here. Reached the garbage. All right, then I just pop that up, kind of overlap a little bit onto the wood grain piece. And if you want to get real technical, I suppose you could put it over so that you had the same amount of border on each side. We'll try that and see how that goes. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I think that looks all right. And then we are also using one of the long tags from the kit, and I cut it down. I did where's my blue? I did take my blue, my Misty Moonlight ink, let me show you, and just give it the illusion of being mounted on another color. You could just run the edges through the ink, and then it will darken it up a little bit to give, like I say, somewhat of an illusion that it's got some depth to it. And then I'm going to use this same Happiest Father's Day from the Adventurous Sky stamp set. It's in the new catalog. I'm going to pull this over by me so that I can hopefully get it right the first time. So now we've got Happiest Father's Day, and then I'm going to pop that up also. A few dimensionals on there. Okay. And we're going to just lay that down here, a little bit under this layer, not quite all the way to the bottom, and then butt it up to the edge. Like so. Then now that I have a crumb cake, the card itself is white on the inside, so I need a white layer that's 5 1/4 by 4. And I am going to also use that same little tree that was left over. You could save this for another project. I could probably use it on my next card actually, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna glue it right in here like I did the last one. Just to give it something on the inside. You could always stamp the tree. Save this piece of card for something else. And then I'm going to glue it right there. Maybe I'll glue it over here this time. Nope, I'm going to glue it right over here. So there we go, you guys. That is our third card for this kit. And I will be back shortly with my last card.